Hey, what's going on, guys and gals? Welcome back to yet again another Gunfight Arena video. And in today's video, we are going to be checking out the brand new pistol, which is the M45A1. But we're also going to be talking about some other things that I kind of want to talk about. All right, I need to get this off my chest. So earlier in the week, so last week, if you guys remember, I uploaded a Gunfight Arena video. Nothing unusual. It was about the new update. And firstly, I want to talk about this pistol because I think that this pistol is really cool and whatever. But I think it's pretty basic. They changed the minigun sounds too. I don't know if I like these sounds. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, okay. Oh, new ending screen. Look at that. Oh, okay, dude. I like it. I like it. Anyways, let's talk about the brand new pistol here for just a moment. So I know I titled this video all about this brand new pistol, but I gotta be so real and I just gotta be completely honest with you. This video, yeah, sure, I'm going to be covering the new pistol and I'm going to be using it, but I'm going to be honest, it's not going to be all about this gun. It's just not. And before I get into, the meat and potatoes of today's video and really start talking about the problem, I do want to quickly let you guys know that I'm going to be live streaming on Twitch again, and I'm going to be doing some games outside of Roblox. So if you're interested, you guys can tune into my first ever stream back on Twitch, which is going to be on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, you guys can just look up 8 p.m. EST to my time zone converter, and you'll probably get the time that I will be live at for your time. But now let me just quickly cover the pistol. Animations, pretty cool. Pistol feels really solid. It's a two-shot, it's fine. Not the biggest deal in the world, but that's not what today's video is going to be all about. Today's video isn't really about the new pistol. I just really want to kind of gloss over it because new pistol's cool and all, but it's just it's not really the most exciting thing in the world. I never really like to do videos on the new secondaries in the game because, to be honest with you, I don't really care for new secondaries. I don't know if I'm the only person ever that has felt that way, but when I get a new secondary in a first-person shooter, I'm just like, okay, cool. Is it the Deagle? No? All right, then I don't care. The Deagle's the only secondary I really care about. But today's video, I wanted to kind of go over the situation surrounding Gunfight Arena mostly. And I know you guys are probably kind of looking at today's video like, well, what do you mean the situation? What situation is going on with the game? And the situation is basically with my last video. All right, in the last video I uploaded, I kind of didn't do my due diligence as a content creator because I would have talked about this a lot more in my last update video. But today I wanted to talk about it and really go in depth on how I feel about this whole situation. And enough beating around the bush and kind of stringing you guys along. What I'm talking about is the amount of money and credits that it takes to buy anything in this game now is absolutely insane. I'm sorry, I gotta be honest. I'm not gonna sit here and not say anything about it because I'm not the only one that feels that way. So I did a recording and I was going to talk about this issue and go really in depth and really talk about it, and I was kind of operating more on emotions than I was logically. So I kind of am coming back into this issue with a clear head and not really going to get too emotionally invested like I did last time. But to be completely honest with you, last time I did this recording, I was completely upset. I was very, very upset with the Gunfight team, and I couldn't believe that they did this, all right? But basically, if you guys want to go ahead and take a look-see real quick, all right, let me go ahead into the primary section here. As you guys can see, the M60 now costs 75 million credits, whereas before it costed 10 million, and before that, it was only 5 million. So, the gun increased by double, and then it didn't increase by double the next time. It got a 65 million credit increase because it got a buff. And I gotta be honest with you, so my biggest issue with them increasing the prices of the guns is I don't really see what was the point in buffing the M60 to make it 75 million credits. I really don't understand that. Wasn't this gun one of the best guns in the game beforehand? Why did this thing all of a sudden need a buff just so you can raise the prices on it? As from a player's perspective, that's how I see it. And I feel like that's how a large majority of the community sees it as well. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to want to buff, you know, the best gun in the game, but I think it's a little shady when you buff the best gun in the game so you can raise the price on it. And, you know, the gun goes from literally, like, I got to show you guys this so you guys can actually understand where I'm coming from. With you, that was the thing that made me the most upset. So yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to talk about it. I had reached out to one of the developers on the game, and I just wanted to ask what exactly got buffed on this thing. What made this thing, you know, jump up from it being a $20 weapon in the game to it being a $140 weapon in the game. Now, I'm not going to sit here and leak DMs because that's not what I do. I'll just tell you what I was told. Apparently the fire rate was buffed, the mag size was buffed, the minimum damage, and apparently they were also thinking about buffing the damage again on it yesterday, which was the last update when this pistol came out, but they didn't do that. So like my biggest issue is not like with the buffs, because like, okay, if you want to buff it, whatever, cool, but the fact that you had to make it that much more expensive just kind of feels like a slap in the face, bro. Like I don't know how else to say it. Like, and I don't mean that to come off as like bad or anything, and I don't want anyone like attacking anyone individually either for this decision, which is why I'm keeping, like, you know, anybody who I mentioned in this video like anonymous. I don't want anybody attacking anybody, and if you do attack anybody, please unsubscribe from my channel. I do not condone any of that, and I do not want anybody doing that. If you're a real member of the Gunfight Arena community and a real subscriber of mine, you will not be attacking anybody. So my biggest issue with the last update that they implemented was increasing the prices of a lot of these guns, and I know that they also decreased some weapons, but the weapons that they decreased, like, they also nerfed. Whatever gun they nerfed, they kind of made it a starter weapon. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And it just feels terrible. Like, it really does. Like, I don't like that. I'm not saying that this thing, you know, doesn't deserve to have its price raised after the buff. I just think the amount of money that it went up was insane. Like, if you wanted to make this thing maybe 20 million, maybe 30 million, fine, that's whatever. Okay, I can see that, I guess, even though I think it still is a little crazy, because, you know, 20 bucks will buy you the weapon, and I think that's more than fair if you really wanted to spend $20. But now you have to spend literally a deluxe edition version of Call of Duty in order to get the M60 from the start of the game. Like, if you really wanted just the M60, that is crazy. So I'm kind of glad I gave it a week to just, you know, take a breather and reflect on the situation so I can talk about it a little bit more extensively. And I know you guys are probably expecting a video about this pistol here, and like I said, I was planning on making a video about it, but I don't really care about this gun. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just literally because it's a secondary. It's not because it's bad. I think it's actually really good. It's a 2-shot, you know, it fires pretty fast, has a lot of bullets in the mag. It's a very solid pistol for sure, but my biggest issue is just like, it's a secondary. Like, I don't really care about secondaries. A little too late for them to reverse the prices, I guess, because there's going to be some people who have unfortunately bought the M60 for $140 using Robux. But dude, I don't know, man. I'm upset for them, you know. I really am. Then again, like, no one's really forced to buy any of this stuff. Like, you're not really forced to use $140 of, you know, your hard-earned cash to buy Robux in order to get this gun in the game. But it's just the fact that that's an option makes this game pay to win. And that's the problem I have with it too. Making this game pay to win is just like the worst outcome. Like, we're living in the worst timeline right now. I could literally tell people beforehand, like, yeah, oh yeah, I played Gunfight Arena, and then everyone's like, man, that game's so pay to win. And I'm like, no, not really. You can get like any good gun, you know, around like this amount of money and whatever. But now it just feels like every single gun that was good or considered one of the best ones in the game that were, or the ones that were underrated, it's just like, now it's just, it's weird. Oh, there we go. Look at me. New winning screen. Aha, that's cool. I like that a lot. I really do. Anyway, like I was saying, yeah, so like, it just like, and now the game feels pay to win. If I were to introduce this game to my friend and I'd be like, hey, you know, if you want to know what the best gun in the game is, the M60, in my opinion, is one of the best guns in the game. And then they look at it and they're like, yeah, that's kind of the problem with it. That's what I don't like about it. Like, no disrespect, like I said. And I keep saying that because I really want to reiterate this point. I mean, no disrespect to any of the devs. Every single dev that I've talked to personally in DMs or in the Discord server or anything like that, you all have been phenomenal. I just think that this specific update, this change that you guys did, is a huge L. It's a huge L. I'm just being honest. I don't like it. And you know what? I don't really have to like it at the end of the day. It's not my game, right? So no matter what I say, you don't have to listen to my advice. You don't even have to listen to this video at all. It's your game, you know? I'm not going to change what you guys want to do, what your vision is for your game. But I'm just telling you from like the community standpoint, how players are feeling about this. And I know it's not just me, because I had a lot, and I mean a lot of comments under my last video talking about this thing. And I had people in my Discord. I had people reach out to me personally on Discord. And I also had people just talking about this situation with me and, you know, expressing their frustration. I had people telling me that they were saving up for the Vector because they were like, man, I watched your video on the Vector, it looked good, I wanted to get it, and now it's just 35 million and I cannot afford that. And I also think another big issue is not having what buffs and nerfs you made to the weapons to validate why you increase the price of these things is also a big issue, and why I think a lot of people are upset with it. And like another thing too is like, I understand the RPG, this thing is supposed to be like, at least in my opinion, it's kind of like a meme weapon. Like I don't really see it as like a practical use weapon. But why did this thing get like 30 million plus increase on it? It got no buffs. It had no changes, not even a nerf. Nothing was done to it at all. At least it didn't say it in the changelog, and it randomly increased to 30 million credits. Either they just didn't include it in the changelog, like they forgot to, or this thing got no changes and they just decided, hey, let's make it, you know, 30 million more credits more expensive, whatever. Like I really thought the 20 million was like the cap. I didn't think they were ever going to go over that, because to me it just kind of made sense. Like $20 can get you the you know, one of the better guns in the game. Like, yeah, I think that's like a bargain, you know. And I feel like a lot of people would be all right with, I think a lot of people would be like all right with it just being like the $20 mark, you know, because it's like, okay, $20 they spend, they support the devs, and they get one of the better guns in the game so they can enjoy their time more. And now it just kind of feels like you have to, now it just feels like if you spend, even if you got to the credits legit, or even if you have the M60 before, now it's going to have that stigma carried with it as being the most expensive gun in the game for absolutely no reason. And I have a freaking theory that this is not going to be the most expensive gun. I think we will see a $100 million gun. Like, we got a 1 billion credit gun at one point. I think I literally bought that thing in one of my other videos. I can't remember. Where is that gun? I don't even think, where is it, bro? I haven't seen it. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even know. Oh, here it is. Yeah, like this right here is like an April Fool's weapon. Like, I'm okay with it. We're having gag weapons for it being like 1 billion, because it's just like, it's funny, you know. That is clearly designed for people who are the richest players in the game, or people who just, you know, really want exclusive things. But the fact that like a standard weapon is 75 million credits is insane. And on top of that, one of the better competitors in the game with it, I would say, is the laser LMG. Like, that's like another version of it, and I think it might be even a little bit better. I don't actually know the stats. Somebody can tell me in the comments. But this thing being prestige 14, like, I just, that's insane. What, man? Like, the Mosin is now 5,000 credits. This thing was 1,500 credits. This thing is 45,000 credits. Don't tell me that this thing is going to be 100,000. If the M40 is 100,000, I swear. Oh my God, bro. Why is this thing 100,000? This is supposed to be one of the best starter weapons. Now it's like a mid-tier sniper. Why? This is what I'm talking about, bro. Like, why are these guns so expensive? What happened, bro? Did the tariffs hit this game? Like, I don't understand. Why did everything go up so much more? Like, that's my problem. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's not my game. It's not my decision. You guys can do whatever you want. And if you are going to complain, once again, please, 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 please do so respectfully. Do not harass anybody. And if you do harass anybody, like I said, unsubscribe from my channel. You are not a fan of mine. But thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you all did enjoy. I'm sorry that this is kind of like a Debbie Downer video. I know that I usually make like, you know, update videos and I'm like, yeah, take a look at this update, super cool and all that. Not today. I'm sorry. This is a video that needs to be done because no one else is really talking about it, you know? And I think it's such a big problem. But yeah, I don't really know if I'm gonna get any like backlash or repercussions from this video. Like, I really don't know what's gonna happen. I don't think anything will really happen, at least in terms between me and like the developers or anything like that. Like they all seem pretty chill. So I think they'll probably take my advice and, you know, they'll really like consider it. And I hope they do. Because like I said, like I respect them, you know, I really do. They're very like transparent with me and they communicate with me and stuff like that. So yeah, that's going to do it for me in today's video. Thank you all so much for watching and I will talk to you beautiful, beautiful people on the next one. It's been wild.